Hi there, good day. Welcome to Marble Halls TV. And I want to talk about now this story with William Saliba. Now, okay, I'm going to go through this article on Football London, and yeah, I'm going to offer my thoughts on it as it stands. Now, I suppose it's about almost 24 hours after the thing leaked. If for those who don't know or who have not, you know, only just now found out, basically, supposedly there was a video from a few years ago that hit the rounds on Twitter, roughly around 24 hours from now or ago, basically showing Saliba and one of his teammates or friends or brethren or whatever, shall we say, in a lewd position. Let's just put it that way. Um, Now, the thing is that there are a lot of questions being asked in that. Why are they doing this in the dressing room? You know, is it even illegal? You know, did the guy doing the, shall we say, lewd stuff, um, let's just put it in those terms, did he know he was being filmed by Saliba? Was it just some joke? Was it, and to be fair, as I said, I'm going to talk about this a bit more in length in my views, but people also going on a homophobic vibe. And let's be frank, Arsenal, we are known as a banter club, and this is obviously more banter. Um, it's never a dull day at Arsenal or regarding Arsenal news. Imagine what Mikel and all the players, Alba, Laka, probably even Stan Kroenke. You never know. Stan Kroenke probably saw this and thought, huh? What's all this going on? And Josh, huh? What's all this shit going down in about one of our players out on loan in France? Like, you never know. So, yeah, right, so I'm going to read this story then. So, in consequence from then, this video, it says the French Football Federation are set to open an investigation into a leaked video of Arsenal defender William Saliba. Saliba joined the Gunners from Saint-Étienne in the summer of 2019, but is still yet to make his debut for the club after spending 1920 season out on loan and failing to make his way into Mikel Arteta's first team upon his arrival in North London last summer. Well, it wasn't last summer. Come on, it was I don't know what they mean by that, by the by. As a result, the French under 20 international has been sent out on loan to Nice for the remainder of the season, where he was recently named Player of the Month after impressive return to Liga. However, the news that the French footballing authorities are going to be investigating a leaked video of the 19-year-old is threatening to derail his progress once more. The thing is, they could release they could do an investigation, but investigation into what? Um, investigation into what? Is it illegal? As I say, I'm not an expert in French criminal law, so I don't understand what the issue is. Well, I honestly don't know. But going on to read the article, reports from RMC News indicate that the FFF are going to be looking into the explicit footage that features Saliba in his French football kit while away on international duty. As a result, they are understood to be investigating the leaked video on the grounds that it could potentially be viewed as harmful to the image of the federation and football as a whole. So is this the equivalent of the FA? Because you often hear the FA charge bringing the game into disrepute. Is this the same thing then? So if it is, and that's a big if, because I don't know how the French Football Federation operates. If it is, all you would get. Well, if this was the FA, you'll just get a slap on the wrist, maybe a fine, maybe a one-match ban or something like that. So hopefully, yeah, is this big enough to wreck his career? Well, no. He hasn't killed anyone. He hasn't raped anyone. It's not like he's committed a genocide or something. He's not some evil monster. So, as I said, I'll speak more on that to come. It's unclear which other players are featured in the video, though that was reportedly filmed around 3 years ago. So how old is he? So he's about 16, right? The 19-year-old has 22 caps for France at youth level and most recently played for the French under 20 team in March to 2019. So that's what, oh, excuse me, that's almost 2 years ago, yeah. Um, then it was his form in international youth football as well as his impressive performances at senior level for Saint-Étienne that convinced Arsenal to pay in the region of 27 million to sign Saliba in the summer of 2019. However, after spending a season back alone with La Vert, I think that means the Greens in French, he struggled to make his way into Mikel Arteta's first, I assume that means first team, football under the proofread their ship upon his arrival in North London at the end of last season. Arteta has since blamed Saliba's lack of a transition season and the personal problems he has suffered since he moved countries as the main reasons behind this. I know that sometimes it is difficult to explain or understand that after the money the club spent bringing him in, sending him on loan, the Spaniard said last month. But a lot of things have happened to him. He's a long-term player for us, and we need to protect him as well. Giving him 3 or 4 games is not enough for him. He needs as much more than that. But what has happened over the last 18 months? He has gone through some personal problems as well that we have to try and help him. I say as close as possible to him, and now needs to play and enjoy his profession as well. Saliba, however, has recently claimed that he believed Arteta judged him too quickly and that he wasn't given enough of a chance to prove himself upon his arrival at Saint-Étienne. He judged me on 2.5 matches, Saliba told RMC Sport. I'd have for him to play me more. He told me I wasn't ready. I was waiting for him to give me a chance, but football is like that. So yeah, that seems to be the issue, the end of the article. Now, this thing of the federation, it seems, well, I'm going on assumptions though because I don't know how the French Football Federation work. But if it is like bringing the game into disrepute, and I've said this before, but maybe you'll just get a slap on the wrist or something. But if it is about, you know, he has made statements, but I don't think he has, about not getting enough time. But again, there are two sides to every story. To be fair to Mikel, he may have his own views, but I want to talk a bit more though about the general reaction to this video. Now, a lot of things online I don't really, frankly, concur with. Um, you know, uh, um, okay, how can I word this? I think there's a lot of part of this banter. Yes, it is Arsenal. We are the banter club. And look, we're a big club, so we're going to get called out when our players do questionable things. That's part and parcel. At Man United will be the same. Liverpool, Chelsea, City, dare I say it, Tottenham, or whoever. The thing is, though, is that a lot of this, I don't like the undertone of a lot of this thing. That oh he likes men. Oh, and pardon the language, actually, you know what? I was gonna say some terms which were, shall we say, disparaging, which people generally have used. I've seen, but I won't because I'll just lend more to it and be contrary to my point. But people have used a lot of homophobic terms to describe this incident, and I think that's jumping the gun a bit. I think Saliba. Well, the thing is, a number of ways to look at it. Firstly, what was that video all about? What was the context of it? You know, was it just some dressing room banter? You know, is it some aspect of Saliba's private life? Even if he is gay, so what? That doesn't affect his ability as a footballer. Um, So that remains unquestioned. Two, if that's your teammate, why are you videoing it? Again, was it some kind of prank or joke? Did they video it so he could send to a girl or something? You never know. Huh? I just literally just thought that you never know. That could be it. So, and three, how did this get into the public domain? Let's go on the theory that it was sent to a girl, right? Now, someone probably had it on their phone or their computer and it leaked out. You know, Saliba's a public figure. Yes, you can say he was young at the time. He'd have been 16, right? So it's probably under 15, 16's French side, whatever. French schoolboys, whatever. Yes, you can say that's a very high burden to have as a kid, but even still, um, you know, is should he not have more cognizance? Shouldn't the French on schoolboys international team have taught him that? Possibly. Um, shouldn't the club he was at taught him that? Possibly. I think a lot of clubs in academies do teach their kids not just obviously how to play football, but things like how to deal with agents, the media. The academy football these days is way more rigorous than it was 20, 30 years ago in preparing players for, this life as a professional football, especially the high top level. Um, and yeah, I think, I think this will blow over in time. But I just don't like really some of the backlash and some of the shall we say homophobic insinuations. Yes, it does seem weird. It does seem odd. And let's be frank, we are seen as a banter club, and rightly so. We do a lot of questionable things on and off the pitch, and for a club of Arsenal's standing and stature in the world of football, that's not acceptable. And this just adds to that kind of flavor of, or if you will. But I don't know. I just think some of the reactions on it have had too much of an unsavory tone, and I think basically, I think Saliba has to be careful. This should be a lesson to him of that as a professional footballer, you have to really be not as a professional footballer, as a public figure in any industry, in any walk of life. You could be a politician, you could be an actor, a singer, a painter, um, be a scientist. As long as you're in the public eye for whatever reason, a journalist, you have to some degree act a bit whiter than white. It may be unfair, but as a public figure, you do have an image to uphold, and you probably do have a responsibility to behave in certain ways. I think as long as what you're doing, whether you're a public figure or an unknown person, doesn't hurt other people, right? Cool. But I think, as I said, I think in time this thing will blow over. Yes, you'll get banter for it, but say in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, will people give a shit? Probably not. Um, as for why and how the context the video was made, I don't think only William Saliba and the guy, shall we say, being lewd will probably ever know that. You never know. It could have been. I know this is wild speculation, but it could be the truth. Who knows? It's a theory ultimately. Who is to say William Saliba? That's obviously his brethren, his teammate. His teammate was moving for a gal or something, and Saliba said, "Yo, this is your ting there," and he sent a video to the gal, and somehow, well, not somehow, it would have been saved and saved and saved, and people thought, "Rah, that's my man. That's William Saliba." Um, yeah, let's post this online because he's a big player for Arsenal. one of the biggest clubs in the world. He's one of the best French prospects. Who knows? As I say, I'm speculating, but who, is as good a theory as any at this point. But the way I see it, the only thing I don't like about this mainly is, I don't know, just some of the ways that some fans have gone out for this in terms of the homophobia, which I don't think is very tasteful. And football should be a place where anyone of any description should be able to feel comfortable, whether racial, gender-based, sexual orientation, gender identity, etc., religion. So any form of discrimination should not be welcome in football. So yeah, I've waffled on a bit, but that's to reiterate, just to end now. Yes, you can banter, but I don't like some of the tone of the banter, if that makes sense. So thank you very much for listening, and yeah, I will see you next time. Actually, also, there's a story of the Europa League versus Benfica. Apparently, we're going to play 2 legs because of obviously the coronavirus travel restrictions and shit. We're going to play the first leg in Rome, I think in the Olympic Stadium, I think where Lazio and Roma play. And the second leg, interesting enough, in Olympiakos in Greece. So it's kind of ironic that we could get knocked out or could progress at the ground who knocked us out last season. And also remember, that's where Socrates now plays. So hopefully Socrates can cheer us on from the stands and give us his former team some moral support. But yeah, I'm being facetious there, but yeah, it's just an odd irony. But yeah, yeah, thanks a lot for listening, everybody. I'll see you next time.